Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else. Welcome to a Sunday afternoon episode of Ted's Booze Cellar with me, your most gracious host, Ted. It's just gone past 6 minutes past 3 in the afternoon on the 23rd of November 2025. I hope I'm finding you all in a good state of affairs, and if I'm not, then I hope things improve for you very, very soon. So, as you can probably tell, have got a different mic for today, and my friend at work, Anthony, very kindly donated this mic to us. And I want to just first of all say massive thank you to him. It was very, very generous of him. And as recompense for him donating this microphone and also this sound cushioner that he's also given me as well, I thought I'd review a drink of his choice. Now, I wanted to pick his brains for what he wanted me to review for the first time I end up using this mic, and he ended up settling on Nigerian Guinness. Now, it had been a while since I'd had a Guinness, and I couldn't quite remember the distinct differences between Nigerian and Irish Guinness, and so I decided to look it up a bit, and it turns out that the average ABV, or like the approximate ABV of like a Nigerian Guinness, is actually about 7.5, whereas for an Irish Guinness, I believe it's about, 4.1, 4.3. So Nigerian Guinness, straight off the bat, is a fair bit stronger. It's also reputed to be a bit more fuller-bodied, a bit deeper and darker, and sort of a bit more appropriate for people who like stouts that have, like, say, a bit more of a strong characterful flavour, whereas, like, Irish Stout has a lot of character to it, absolutely, but it's a bit more of a mellow drink from what I saw online when I did a little bit of reading about the differences between Irish and Nigerian Guinness. So I'm interested to see what this is like because it's been a while since I've had Nigerian Guinness. I have had it before, but it has been a while since I've tasted it. I've had this bottle in my fridge for a little while, so I've been meaning to drink it, and I thought this would be a good opportunity for that, to be honest. So again, thank you to Anthony. Massive, massive appreciation to you. And let's get on to it. So yeah, this is Nigerian foreign extra stout, imported. First off, I'll say it's an interesting range and mix of colours and a lot more vibrant than the packaging on the Irish Guinness, I will say. But I do really like the look of the Nigerian Guinness bottle. The colour clash between the dark liquid and the dark glass and also this dark label against this very sort of bright, kind of almost Brazil national football team yellow, kind of gold colour here. It's a bit stark and it kind of doesn't clash super well, but it's not like an ugly looking bottle or label really. It's just like some of the colours do clash a little bit. I will say like the contrast between the black background and then the gold outline of obviously the Open Gate Brewery heart logo, that is actually like really nice. And I will say this like swish of like grey, sort of tealy blue and then like gold here around the logo is actually really nice as well. So I'll give this a 7 out of 10 for the label and the bottle, I think. It looks good. There's just some sort of tweaks I would make, really, to be honest. But I'm interested to see what it smells and tastes like. So we'll give ourselves a quick snifter first of all in the bottle. Ooh, that's very deep. Very rich in colour in terms of its smell. Don't know how you can smell colour from the smell, but yeah, it's got a very deep, kind of like earthy, bitter chocolate kind of smell to it. It's really nice, actually. That's one of the better smells of a drink in its container that I've had in a while. So, I'm gonna say probably like 8.25 out of 10. It's a really good smelling nose. There's just a little bit of extra pizzazz that's missing, but overall, it doesn't overstay its welcome. It actually like complements your expectations of what a slightly stronger, deeper Guinness would be like. So yeah, it smells nice. There's just some again little minor tweaks I would make, but like the nose, honestly, it smells really good. Yeah, 8.25 out of 10. Does smell nice. Yeah. Anyway, we'll pour it into a Titanic brewery glass here, and yeah, I think I did used to have Guinness pint glass, but I think I broke it many years ago. I might have a Guinness half pint glass somewhere, but I've either broken that as well or lost it, which would be gutting because I've barely ever been able to find a Guinness half pint glass anywhere. So that would be really gutting if I have lost it. So yeah, apologies about the rather poor quality head here. Let's have a quick snifter of it in the glass. Yeah, again, much of the same really as when you're smelling it in the bottle. It's just got more room to breathe. I think that the fruitiness is a bit more pronounced and the kind of chocolatiness isn't quite as overpowering, but yeah, it smells good. It smells really good. Probably an 8.5 out of 10 in the glass. I think it's just a little bit better, but it is noticeably better for sure. Yeah, no, it does smell nice. Again, just some minor tweaks. Like I feel like the florally fruitiness and kind of sort of like the deep oakiness of that smell could kind of be brought out a bit more. But no, it smells good, absolutely. Anyway, before we see what this sucker tastes like, we'll have ourselves a quick palate cleanser of water. And then on to the most important part of the video, which is to see what this sucker tastes like. So, to everyone at home, I hope you've had a great weekend. To any American viewers, actually, I hope you have had a lovely Thanksgiving if you haven't celebrated it already. Or if you have, either way, I hope you have a good holiday period. And to everyone at home who's watching, I hope you have a good week ahead. Bottoms up. So, first impression is it's not quite as smooth as Irish Guinness. I do have to say I'm sorry. It's got very deep, rich, dark, enriching kind of like bitter chocolate kind of flavour to it that's really, really interesting. Kind of like almost this deep, nutty, fruity aftertaste to it as well. It's really complex, but it actually complements the other flavours quite well. It is quite overpowering in the aftertaste, but it does complement the other flavours principally like quite well. Mm. Mm. Yeah, it's a very. There's some similarities in the flavour profile to Irish Guinness for sure. So like there is some familiarity if you're familiar with Irish Guinness, but on the whole, it is a generally much different flavour profile. Not fundamentally, but like in terms of like the outlying aspects of how the different individual flavours complement each other and what the aftertaste is like. So yeah, it's a very interesting drink. Not really sure what to make of it. Yeah, so there's kind of like a Guinnessy flavour throughout, but it's a bit more kind of like acting as like a complementing factor to the other flavours. Whereas in Irish Guinness, I feel like it's the main sort of crux of the flavour. And at the start, you get this bitter cocoa seed kind of like chocolatey kind of taste, and then this like nutty textured kind of like fruitiness kind of permeates throughout the rest of it. So it's kind of a drink of two halves. You get this sort of like rich, deep, like earthy bitterness that's like really nice and complements the flavour of the stout really well. And you get this kind of fruity aftertaste at the end, and then like an onrush of bitterness after that. So like they're flavours that do complement each other well, but I feel like they could be melded together a bit more smoothly, and that kind of extends to the texture and the mouthfeel as well, because it's not a bad drink to drink. It's got an okay mouthfeel. It is drinkable compulsively, but it's not quite as easy to sort of take down and sort of digest, I feel, as like Irish Guinness. That being said, I do still think Nigerian Guinness is a good bit. Like this is a good bit, but I just feel like yeah, I don't know. I feel like it is a good bit. I feel like personally I do prefer Irish Guinness, to be really flatly honest. But I feel like Nigerian Guinness has its own place. Just I think you kind of had to treat it a bit differently. I think like Nigerian Guinness is something you more sort of like taste and ponder over and like kind of really take it in and digest it. Whereas like Irish Guinness is equally just as viable to do that with as well. But I feel like I'm more easily able to compulsively knock it back. Whereas like Nigerian Guinness, I kind of want to like take my time with it and really sort of like mull it over and sort of really sort of like think about it. I do think actually Nigerian Guinness, similar to Irish Guinness, would be good in a lot of cooking as well. I feel like Guinness is great as both a cooking and drinking beer, really. But I don't know. This is a very complex drink, but I do like it. I think overall I do prefer Irish Guinness, but this is still very nice. I need to re-review Draft Guinness at some point again because I reviewed it years ago and I didn't give it a great sort of review in terms of like just the quality of the review I did. So I need to redo that at some point. But on the whole, I quite like this. Yeah, not quite as good as Irish Guinness. Sorry, Anthony. I know you espoused the qualities of Nigerian Guinness to me a lot when we were chatting the other day about the microphone. But I just got to be honest, I prefer Irish Guinness generally. I will say this obviously this is quite good in the sense that it doesn't have the same tinny quality as like canned Guinness, which is a bit of a shame with that. But like, I would probably sooner have original recipe bottled Guinness or draft Guinness over this, but still really, really nice beer. So I'll give it a... You see like a proper good, well-made, draft Guinness with like a properly maintained beer line is getting on for like a 9 or a 10 out of 10, but like this is still really good in itself. So I'm going to say a solid 8 out of 10. Yeah, I think an 8 out of 10 is appropriate. I think I just generally prefer the flavour profile and the mouthfeel of Irish Guinness, but Nigerian Guinness is still in of itself a really nice beer. And I would thoroughly recommend it to anyone who wants something a bit more deeper and sort of like with a heavier bodied, like darker flavour that's kind of like more rich and like oaky and chocolatey with a bit more of a fruity aspect to it as well. Yeah, I think if you want to sort of have a beer that's a bit more something like you kind of just sip a bit more, this is probably better for you, to be honest. But yeah, I would say this is actually really, really nice. It's a solid 8 out of 10. If you're chilling it and serving it properly in like a chilled glass, then it probably could get on for like an 8.25, 8.4 out of 10. But I think 8 out of 10 is still really, really solid. So yeah, would buy, would recommend. I can't remember exactly how much this was, but I'm going to put the prices of it at a couple of different places at least in the video description down below, so do check that out. But yeah, no, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, leave a like, share, and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for future episodes of Ted's Booze Cellar, be that drinks for me to review or different video formats, let me know in the comment section down below. If you agreed or disagreed with anything in particular, again, let me know in the comment section. And if you want to check out either my social medias or the prices for Nigerian Guinness at a couple of different shops, do check that out in the video description down below as well. But until next time, yeah, have fun, stay safe with whatever you're doing, don't do anything I wouldn't do, wash your hands, drink responsibly, know your limits. Thank you again to Anthony, and until next time, I'll see you guys at the bar on Ted's Booze Cellar. Bye-bye for now. Oh, lovely.